here we are again. So yeah, I feel like we have talked about this more times than I've talked about anything on this channel. So we are once again back on this talk of Mario Odyssey 2. I know we have to. Like we have to. I can't. It's almost the end of the year. Like it hasn't been brought up in the last 4 or 5 months. I have to. Nintendo has pretty much already gave us a good look as to what to expect for next year already. We have a brand new Fire Emblem coming in January. Splatoon 3 will continue to get updates and probably that big DLC expansion for next year. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope is going to have more DLC coming for next year. Mario Kart also going to have 3 more waves coming next year. Crying out loud, Pikmin 4 is coming next year. Maybe, probably not. It's probably going to get delayed. Not to mention Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe coming in February. And finally, Tears of the Kingdom coming in May, which this is a pretty good schedule already known before we even jump into 2023. Does that mean no Mario? It has been 5 years since Super Mario Odyssey, almost 2 years since Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So yeah, naturally I am kind of really hoping for Mario Odyssey next year. I think it's around the time. The longest gap that we've ever had between 3D Marios was 6 years between 64 and Mario Sunshine. But for the most part, Nintendo's been pretty quick with Marios. I mean, seriously, in the past, Mario Galaxy released, and then 3 years later, Mario Galaxy 2 released, and then just another 3 years later, Mario 3D World released. So, I mean, Nintendo's definitely capable of getting Mario out pretty quick, unless they're working on something kind of crazy. I am for sure saying that we will see a brand new Mario game announced sometime next year. I mean, it could happen earlier, maybe at the Game Awards, probably not, but I definitely think it could be announced at the Spring Nintendo Direct or E3, and I think there is a good chance that could be launching as our holiday game. I really do. I also think it's really important to remember that the Mario movie comes out in spring next year, so I really think they would want a brand new, huge Mario game to tie into that, and maybe they're really putting in all of their efforts into something that we just have never expected before. I mean, we saw that promo image for the Mario movie poster, and we were just so excited to see a world like this, and it just looked so detailed and enriched with environments that looked like we could jump in and explore in a video game. And lots of people started opening their minds to a more expansive, open world style of Mario game where we get to explore anywhere we want, not just the confines of one kingdom in Mario Odyssey. So maybe they're not even working on a sequel to Mario Odyssey. I mean, after all, Mario Galaxy 2 was just 3 years after Mario Galaxy, so what could be taking them so long for a game they already have the engines and models for? I don't know. I also have people that always say in the comments literally every single time, Nintendo Land, why in the world would they put 2 3D Mario games on the Switch? It's never been done before. It's normally not the norm. They're not gonna have 2 3D Mario games. We have 2 open world Zelda games, 2 Mario Rabbids games, 2 Splatoons, 2 Xenoblades, a 2D and a 3D Kirby game, and like 10,000 Fire Emblem games. Calm down, it was a joke. My point is, there's no limit to what you can have on a console and how many of one game that you can have on a single console, just because it's never been done like that before. I mean, Nintendo has even come out and said that the Nintendo Switch was different, and that the normal life cycle is normally like 5 to 6 years for a console, and they're going for like 8 or 9. So like, this is a different console, this is a different experience. The Switch is different than past consoles, which means if they're gonna go that long with one console, they're gonna need more of one Mario game on that console. They're gonna need more than one Zelda, more than one Fire Emblem. That's why they have 10,000. You know what the problem was? What really just made things awkward? This freaking game. Bowser's Fury was such a fun game and a great addition to Mario 3D World, but it was like an hour long. Like, dude, I'm glad we got the game and it was a great addition to Mario 3D World, and I'm glad they at least added something, including a brand new mode showing us Mario in a brand new style that we haven't seen before, and it just felt like a little appetizer though. It felt like this was something that they've been working on for a while with a bigger game, and they wanted to test the waters with something smaller, and that's what it was. It felt like a small demo of what they could be coming out with something bigger later on. It was great, everyone loved it. I mean, it was just this giant world with tons of islands all over this lake that Mario could explore in any order and any leisure, and I thought it was actually a really cool concept for something they could do with a bigger world later on, which is really cool, right? But the problem is this came out, and I think in Nintendo's heads, they're considering this a kind of new Mario release, to the point where they're not hurrying on this next Mario game anytime soon. So is there a chance that we could get all the way to 2024 without a new Mario game? Yeah, and that's what I'm a little afraid of. Hopefully that's not the case, but I think we at least get to see the game this year, right? 2023 is the year, right? Please? What's even weirder is the whole Donkey Kong thing. Apparently there's also other games that Nintendo's Mario team could be working on. For instance, there's rumors of a new 2D Mario game. There's rumors that the Odyssey team is working on a 3D Donkey Kong. I mean, at this rate, I don't know what's happening. Are they working on multiple projects? Is Mario just done still for a very long time? What is happening? Look, 2D Mario is whatever. As long as they switch it up, I think we'll be okay. But the problem is, I really want a 3D Donkey Kong 2. After hearing about this is very exciting, and I just don't know how in the world they could be working on a huge brand new 3D Mario game and also a huge brand new 3D Donkey Kong game. That's kind of where my mind is right now, and I just don't see how the Odyssey team alone can tackle two, huge projects like this. I mean, it would be great if we got these games near each other, like Mario next year and Donkey Kong the year after, or vice versa. And honestly, if you ask me, as much as I love Mario and really want to see another 3D Mario game, Donkey Kong deserves it the most. Out of most of the franchises on the Switch, Donkey Kong doesn't have much of anything. In fact, the only thing that Donkey Kong has on the Switch right now is the fact that he's in Mario spin-offs and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the port. That's it. There's nothing else for Donkey Kong. So definitely, if anyone deserves a game right now, it's probably Donkey Kong. He hasn't gotten anything. So yeah, I would love to see a 3D Mario game, but whatever the Odyssey team's working on, I'm sure it's going to be something great. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news and just say this without knowing, because, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I find out that I'm wrong. Kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. But right now, I'm thinking Mario Odyssey 2 is not happening. I think it's a thing of the past. I think maybe they were planning on it, but decided to do something different for the movie. I don't know. But I think it's just been way too long since Mario Odyssey. It's been over 5 years. I think they're moving on to something different. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, because after all, we are finally getting the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild with Tears of the Kingdom coming next year. Finally. So maybe there's still time for Mario Odyssey 2. Who knows? If so, they're going to have to announce it probably very soon. But there's still also a chance that we could be seeing a brand new style of Mario, and after Bowser's Fury, I think that might be the case. Is it a brand new style of Mario game? Is it Mario Odyssey 2? Is it a 2D game? Is it a Donkey Kong 3D game? I don't know. So many questions are going through. What do you want? Whatever it's going to be, I just know it has to be 2023. I feel it in my bones. It is just finally time that we see what's next for Mario and his grand adventures. It's time, right? It's the movie's time. It's time to see what they're cooking up at Illumination over there. So I'm sure the game is short to follow. We're kind of repeating 2017. We got freaking Zelda coming out. This is going to be a big year. We're going to end it on the holiday season Mario game. Mark my words, I'm telling you right now, because if it doesn't happen, me and Mario pulling up on Nintendo.